Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Guess the Guest. We're on episode 6. In last episode, we had a Rax versus Mech matchup. Our Mech player was itzJ, and we were trying to figure out who the Rax player was. They opened with a slightly suboptimal 2 Rax build that failed to do any damage, really. And then there was sort of a mid-game push out, which got shut down. And then from there, the game just snowballed, and the counter attack just knocked him out. Yeah, and so my guess was Safahiga. And let's see if I'm correct. No, I was not. It was actually Ninja. Ninja is someone who I believe plays more mods and is more of the like a map creator, sprite maker, that side of things. I haven't seen him ever play 1v1, so this is a bit of an unfair advantage or unfair. This is a bit of an unfair guessing game for me, so I'm not too surprised that I wasn't able to get it. But yeah, I guess we move on and let's hop right into today's replay. All right, so we have we're looking at the bottom right hand side. Our guest in the blue on Ravaged as usual, playing against the fighter. So yeah, the fighter is someone who is who's been around in the community for a little bit. I'd feel like he's not the greatest player. He does definitely have some sort of tenacity to him. He definitely likes you know, training hard. I feel like I see him online playing games a lot, but his skill level isn't the highest. It's just relatively okay, I guess. He mostly plays Rax, and yeah, I'd put him around the level of like Safariga or Deathstroke, around that level, maybe a little bit less, lower, but yeah. So let's see who what the openings are. I'm gonna speed up a little bit so we can get into the beginning stages of the game. It looks like it's gonna be a Rax opening for both sides. Okay. Oh, this is something interesting we have. The fighter is going for a second house. This probably signifies either a lack of experience or something which is probably more likely, or it could be something like the Destroy Call build where you do go for that second house. This usually leads into something like you get more units in the early game, and it seems like, yeah, it's kind of a wonky build. You can catch people off guard if you're not used to it. Our blue player is scouting around. I do like that. After the barracks. So yeah, obviously knows what to scout. Knows that scouting is a thing. That's a good point. That's a good thing. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Probably he's not building another worker, which is, I guess he's gonna take a CC, a castle here. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So Raider opening for both sides. Looks like this is gonna be Raider into castle. So I personally prefer the 2 Raiders into castle. It delays your castle a little bit, but you're a little bit more safer. And also you're more likely to win, get an early advantage, but this is fine too. The Raiders are gonna stay high in the middle of the map. Gets the first hit off. That's just a sign of inexperience from the fighter. You could really chase that, honestly. I don't know why he's pulling that back. Yeah, he should have chased that. And then archers into that. So this is a build I've seen people like Nigat and I've seen Weird Rat do it a couple times. And also, like it's itzJ, people like that do that a lot. Just Raider into Fast Castle into archers. Yeah, solid build. Nice moving away. He did step back for a little bit, which is not ideal, but that's okay. That Raider will survive. On the other side of things, yeah, so this is just an inaccuracy from the fighter. He could have just taken this castle without needing this house. There wouldn't have been a supply block, or it would have been really minuscule. But that's just an inefficiency. And also building soldiers isn't great, especially in the early game. Soldiers, especially in the early game, because there's a lot of micro potential. Soldiers really don't do anything. They're more useful in the later stages of the game when people don't have enough APM to micro everything. So, but that's okay. So yeah, it looks like. Let's see what our blue players going up gonna do, judging from no second racks yet, he's probably gonna go for a quick third base, if I had to guess, but we'll see. This Raider's going out just to scout, probably going to the third base, check that timing. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. The fighter is kind of floating a lot of minerals. This is one thing that you guys should know. If you are going to take this base, you don't want to take it, click it from here, because there's a whole bunch of time where that money isn't actually being spent. You could have like gotten like workers and stuff while it's going, and then you want to time it so that your worker builds the castle right as you hit 350. Okay, so we have a second Rax. This second Rax is pretty delayed for our standard timing. You could have really gotten that a little bit earlier, I feel like. But that's okay. It's a small optimization problem, but that's alright. I think this raider was able to scout. Let me just check. Yeah, he did scout the third base timing, so that's good. Maybe he's going to go for a bit of a push, but perhaps not. We'll see. And yeah. So the 5 archers. 5 archers, I like to say, is a really good number. They two-shot workers, and yeah, it's just gonna be yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a strong attack, I feel like. Good target fire, target firing the raider. I feel like you should probably target fire the raider. The micro is not bad. It could be definitely better, but still pretty good. I do like that he's pulling the raider back very well. Ooh, it's barely not going to survive. Yeah, I like that the fighter tried to target fire that weak archer, but at this point, it's kind of over in my opinion. You can just attack here, and with the archers, you can two-shot units. A third Rex coming up, so this is a fairly dedicated attack. Nice target fire by the fighter there, getting the last worker. But yeah, this is just a bit of a, I guess, a experience, a lack of experience from the fighter, and just some poor decision making, as in like getting the soldiers, which are really not that useful, especially in the early game. Yeah, our guest is kind of floating a little bit. He hasn't rallied his units across the map, which is fair because he's busy microing, but he should get them now. Yeah, there we go. And then it looks like he's going to take a third base here, yeah. At this point, there's really no way to defend his natural, and by extension, the main. He does have this tower up, which is good, so that means his third is secure, but yeah, he just doesn't have the units to defend. And I'd assume that this is basically it. Yeah. So some pretty clean gameplay from our blue player, and just the lack of experience showing from the fighter here. One thing I want to note is that the rest of his army isn't really coming across the map. It's either it's probably a hotkey issue where he hasn't hotkeyed them properly. So that's not good. But it might be something else. I'm not sure. One thing to note is that if you have your army and then you let's say you right-click a dude, you tell it to attack, and then that unit dies. If half of your army is like halfway across the map, they will not continue coming to where you are. If you target fire, if you A move, they will. And he leaves without GG. That's unfortunate, but yeah. Yeah, let's go over what happened in the blue player side, because that's who we're trying to guess. So we had Raider expand, just a single one, into a quick castle. A build I do see somewhat, but I generally prefer the double Raider expand, but it's still, you know, it makes sense. He had some good micro at the beginning, getting the advantage in the Raider fight early. And then he really could have chased that, but he didn't, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that's okay. And then archers, and then he just walked across the map and killed him, essentially. The second Rex was a little bit late, I think. I think he could have gotten in it a little bit faster. And then this third Rex, just for the pressure, maybe this might have been like some sort of a read where it was like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, excuse me, I have like an advantage. I can kill him right now, so he puts down the third racks. If so, that's really good. Having some fluidity and the ability to adapt in a game, that's really good. And then, yeah, the micro was pretty good, kiting back. It wasn't perfect, but it was, decent. And then one thing was that his reinforcements were stuck here. I guess it could have been to defend the potentially like a raider counterattack, but once he picked off the raiders, he really should have taken them across the map. And then they were stalling in the middle for a little bit as well. So either control group issues or perhaps just not knowing that when you target fire a unit and then with your entire control group and then you kill it, then the no, but like if you still have the control group, you should still be like clicking with the control group, and then that should be fine. But yeah, so it's a bit of a short replay, so I can't tell too much, but a very solid player. I'd say this is probably around the like Stevenator, Negat, itzJ kind of echelon of players. I'm guessing it's not Negat because he did submit replay previously, so and also Stevenator too. So by process of elimination, I guess I'm gonna go for itzJ. That's my guess for today. And who do you think it is? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you're interested, if you want to submit a replay, the link is in the description. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.